What's up? Hello. You don't have to. Alright, settle down now. Settle down. Okay, so Angel dissed me today. He wanted to go see the Black Widow. Can you believe that? These kids and their priorities, you know. But I got a bunch of stuff, so don't worry. Let's see. Alright, some stuff I was reading about that you guys might think is cool. I know I did. Palomar 5, a unique star cluster. I'm going to do a little reading, but don't worry, I'm going to talk on it after, because it is when I saw it, I was like, what? Okay. So apparently this is a unique star cluster. It's one of the fluffiest clusters in the halo of our galaxy, meaning the distance between the stars is a few light years, incomparable to the distance of the sun to the nearest star. Secondly, it has a specular stellar stream associated with it that spans more than 20 degrees across the sky. Let's see. The number of black holes is roughly 3 times larger than expected from the number of stars in the cluster, meaning there's a crap ton of black holes in this cluster, which I've always been curious about black holes. You know, I read up on Stephen Hawking. That dude was out there. But this cluster led me to another article in my newsfeed, how to safely jump into a black hole. I was like, oh, I gotta read this, hold on. So this one's a little more interesting. Our understanding of black holes has exploded in recent years, with landmark works like the photographer of the Messier 87 galaxy's supermassive black hole, and the recent discovery of a tiny 3-sun mass black hole in our own galaxy. But what would it be like to make the next leap, to visit and even enter a black hole? We asked experts. First, to survive long enough to explore a black hole, you must find a big one, says Jana Levin, PhD, an astrophysicist at Barnard College of Columbia University. Black holes form when matter condenses into a tiny amount of space, like when a massive star collapses on itself. This creates a point of infinitely strong gravity, a singularity, and a surrounding region that traps anything that wanders too close, called the event horizon. Great movie if you haven't seen it. Totally old school, way old school. If you're a super hipster that's all into graphics and stuff, you might hate it because it's not even about that. It's more about the story, but still, for its time, way ahead of itself. Next, avoid black holes with accretion disks. We're going to know what that is. Watch out for the accretion disk. About 1% of supermassive black holes accumulate these fast-spinning rings of matter. They can heat up to millions of degrees and create some of the largest magnetic fields that we've measured, says Leo Rodriguez, PhD, a theoretical physicist at Grinnell College in Iowa. Magnetic fields this strong would shut down your nervous system and stretch your atoms into skinny rods until you dissolve. That's cool, but if pressed for options, says Levin, you could attempt to enter one of these black holes perpendicular to the disk, far from the edge of the fiery ring. Stay away from the fire. So now we have a few different options, just in case, you can afford a, $27 million seat on Jeff Bezos' rocket. Or I think Blue Origin might be Jeff Bezos. I don't know, but the other guy, there's only 3, not Tesla, not Jeff Bezos. The third guy, I forget his name. Apparently his seats are only going to be $300 to $400K. So you got the extra cash. You might want to skip your summer vacation and try that out. You might be able to find your opening. Boom, just jump out into a black hole. And now you got a few tips on how to do that. Okay, this is a quick crack on the EDD, because I can't leave them alone. They beg for it. International fraud ring steals billions in EDD money. So I had a late night podcast the other night. It was horrible. I was so tired. I was moaning and droning on. I wanted to shut myself down after I was listening to it. I deleted it. But I was trying to like gather my thoughts from, or my memories from this post that I'd seen, and I couldn't do it. But here it is. More than 11 billion has been stolen from the state of California, just from the state of California, through Employment Development Department fraud. Experts say a large portion of that fraud has been perpetrated by a very sophisticated and organized fraud ring based out of Nigeria. Documents acquired by CBS2 show how easily scammers are able to cheat the unemployment system using how-to manuals they find on the dark web. A vast majority of them are from places like West Africa, primarily Nigeria, said Crane Hasselt Agara, director of threat research. So good, he's doing his job. That's where the focal point of this fraud is coming from. Hasselt founded the FBI's Cyber Behavioral Analysis Center. He says the majority of EDD fraud is created by a crime. Yeah, that's what we just heard. He says the majority of EDD fraud is being committed by a crime ring out of Nigeria called Scattered Canary. Scattered Canary. They need a new name, but hopefully they get the screws put to them. And they have to give all that money back, because that ain't right. What else we got here? A spooky looking amphibian has been added to a new amphibian. Okay, so a list of amphibians, new amphibians. The zombie frog. He does look creepy. He looks like an orange sponge. With, you know how that new soap has those little balls in it to, like, help you scrub your hands? That's what he's got all over him. But apparently, they have to dig with their bare hands to find this amphibian. And by the time they're done, he says, by the time he's done, his whole face is covered in mud. And that's where the actual name came from. We chose the name because the researchers are the ones that look like zombies when they dig out the frogs from the ground. That's kind of funny. That's actually hella funny. Okay, here's a good one. Angel was asking me last week. He's after we finished our podcast, of course. He's like, "Hey, dude, I have a serious question for you." You know, I always get ready for serious questions because they're always like, "How much is it? You know, how much do you think a Crunch Bar is?" And I'm like, "Oh, dude." But this one was actually, I got him on this one. He's like, "Hey, do you have to? When do you have to register for the draft?" I was like, "Ooh, that's a good one," because I mean, I'm a little older than him. I'm 35, so I'm like, it's been a while. But I remember as a kid or as a young adult, like, hearing about it, and I remember filling out a little postcard, and I even remember going to a census booth and filling out the paperwork there. So I know I'm good. But I was like, dude, you know what? Everything's all digital now. I told her I'm pretty sure it happens automatically. But I went and researched it for him because he didn't seem like he seemed worried about it. But I was like, I'm just going to go find out because I'm kind of curious myself. I know he didn't have to, because I remember hearing that if you're the youngest son or the only son in your family, that you're exempt from the draft. If you have like asthma or like eyesight issues where you have to wear like thick glasses and stuff, that they don't want you anyway. So I looked it up for him, and here's what I found. A law became effective on January 1st, 2002, in which a person aged 18 through age 25 who is required to be registered with Selective Service under federal law and who applies for a state driver's license or renewal permit or state ID card is automatically registered with the Selective Service system. So anybody who's worried about that, I know we're not like in a huge war right now. Biden's like trying to pull everybody out of Iraq anyway, so there doesn't look like there's about to be anything popping off. But I mean, I'm sure there's some skeptics out there who are like, yeah, right, we're about to go to war with China, Russia's on the peak, you know. But as far as our troops go, I don't think we're like pushing to draft anybody right now, or like, I mean, I don't see it on the news or anything, so I don't think it's a, you know, it's like, because if we were in a war, believe me, everybody would know the laws and the rules for drafting. Everybody, we would, you know, they'd put in the screws to us to get registered, which they should. I mean, we should defend our country, what not? Yeah, hoorah! But yeah, so you're all good. Don't worry about it. 18-year-olds through 25-year-olds. If you got an ID, permit, even a permit to drive, driver's license, and I'm sure if you got the vaccine, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that they got you in the system. I mean, I know you are in a system, because I got the vaccine, whoop, whoop, not too long ago, and even though my girlfriend tells me that I am probably now fertile, which that's right after I asked her. I was like, because I go, are you, did you get the shot, babe? She's like, yeah. I'm like, why did it take so long to answer? Why does it, well, are you lying to me? She's like, no, I've gotten a shot before. I'm like, are you vaccinated? She's like, yeah, I'm like, you're not. Don't lie to me. She's like, well, you don't know what they put in that shit. You're probably fertile now. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, hold up. I was like, that is not something you tell somebody right after they got the freaking vaccine. I was laughing. I was like, that's just too much. You know what? I'm not fertile. I'm fine. I can feel it. And for anybody who's wondering, it felt like I got punched in the arm twice. But it felt like that for like 2 days, which is kind of weird, but it went away. And I didn't feel like I had a fever. I didn't feel sick. I mean, I ate good. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but it wasn't a big deal, you know. But, you know, there's always those people, which there should be, or else, you know, who knows what they'd put in it if there wasn't those people that questioned, you know, what was in the stuff they're giving us. But yeah, I got bullied into it, and not by my girlfriend, obviously. Another thing I saw that I was pretty interested in was Delta 8. Not to be confused with the Delta variant of COVID-19. I'm not talking about COVID-19. I'm talking about weed, marijuana. Delta 8, this new variant that was supposedly brought about from an oversupply of hemp. It's created from hemp, and it is like a mild version of marijuana. I'm going to try to get a hold of this, because right now it's floating in between laws, as far as there's no law against it. They're selling it at of course, at weed clinics, but also at smoke shops. This stuff is, you don't even have to be 18 to buy it. Can you believe that? And supposedly it's just like a mild marijuana. Like, you feel all, you know, high. You feel high. And to me, this is a shock. I'm like, what? But I don't really smoke now anymore. I mean, obviously, I'm always kind of high sprung. But, I don't really smoke anymore. But I want to try this just to see how close it is, and what they got that is available now, like how they're able to do it, and how high does it get you? There, I'm just gonna say it. How high does it get you? Despite Delta 8 being available to anybody, a $1.19 billion worth of marijuana was seized in a massive drug bust in California. This post was from July 8th. Which, let's see, today is the 9th, so that was yesterday. Yeah, man. People still selling that and doing their thing. Of course, this is illegal, so they got caught. The sheriff's department, you know how they take pictures of whenever they bust somebody, there's always like this trophy picture that they have.